Thank you, Marco, for introducing me. Hello, everybody. Please, if you cannot hear me, then please know, so I can speak louder, or Marco can maybe make some changes while we are having this briefing. So I'm speaking from Zagreb, Croatia. Most of you know where it is, and I see some familiar names in the audience. I would say hello to Ab and to Ivan, our colleagues from EUMeTrain, and also I'm quite surprised on the number of listeners today. This is great to see that not everybody is on vacation and swimming in the sea or lakes, and that we will have, I hope, a good time in next 30 minutes or less. Okay, here in Zagreb, today we can breathe normally after a heat wave that we had yesterday evening, and during the night cold front passed over our country. You can see the drop of the temperature here on this graph. The day before yesterday we had 35 degrees, and yesterday it was already more pleasant, but it was quite humid, and today's maximum is expected around 23 or 4 degrees Celsius. So we are really pleased to have this change in air masses. Also, you can see a picture that is from our webcam that is situated on the roof or on our Met office here in Zagreb, and this is a photo from this morning. I've put this slide with temperatures at 06 UTC from yesterday morning and today morning to highlight the contrast of temperatures in different parts of Europe. You can see that there are quite fresh morning in northwest part of the Europe and very warm morning in southeastern part of Europe. So big difference between these two parts of Europe. Yesterday evening it was snowing in Alps, and this morning some temperature on some mountain stations were below zero, even below -5 degrees. On the next slide, where you can see air mass RGB from 06 UTC, I would like you to put the star on the location. Where are you listening this weather briefing, so I can have a view from what part of the Europe are you? Okay, I can see that there is some problems with the rights of putting stars and drawings on the images. I've already seen it. Okay, now something is happening. I've seen in text chat that there is Spain, eastern part Serbia. Okay, so all around of Europe. This is nicely. Okay. Thank you very much. As you know, air mass, most of you know what we can see with the air mass RGB. It is usually used to discriminate between different air masses, polar and tropical, most of, and also to highlight the dynamical property of the atmosphere. Okay, somebody already put PVA. So reddish color is indication of stratospheric air which is protruding downward into the troposphere. So this is a PV anomaly, and nicely seen 3 PV anomalies on this image. Cold air mass is bluish or even violet, and warm air mass is greenish. So we have a trough placed across Western Europe, and most of the clouds over the continent here and are connected to the low pressure system over Poland. Also, precipitation is, of course, located over this part of the Europe and connected to this low pressure system. There is some stratiform precipitation, but also some strong convection is visible already in the morning hours, and it was also present during the night. Also, we can see on the contrast the high pressure system that spreads from Atlantic, from Azores. So this is a classical Azore anticyclone, and hopefully it will spread more to Middle Europe beginning of the next week. And somebody placed, I see that probably even is quite. Yes, Mistral, of course, this is Mistral. So, cold front, which spreads from the pole, to the southern Mediterranean, is nicely seen with the thermal front parameter. Cloud band is not so prominent, but cold advection is already going on. And this is nicely seen with this overlay of temperature advection on ER image. Also on this ER image with geopotential height of 300 hectopascal, you can see a long wave trough situated over here. And we have two short wave troughs placed over here on the periphery of this long wave trough, and this one will propagate to the northeast, and this one will propagate from France to the North Mediterranean, and within both vorticity maxima, cutoff low will develop in next day or two. Just wait, I'm waiting until the image is, so okay, so this is animation, and you can follow this development I was talking about on this animation. Maybe it will take some time to load, so please put a sign yes or no if you can see it or not. I will of course wait until everybody can see it. So you can see how two cutoff flows are developing. One will go more to the north, and one will be situated over Italy. So some of you say that they cannot, or maybe they are not used with the toolbar, but I hope that everybody have seen this, because I will now load the next animation. The next animation will also nicely, on this animation it will be nicely seen how the cold advection is pushed down to the Mediterranean, and this unstable air mass and unseasonably cold air will be situated over Mediterranean until Monday or Tuesday, bringing so unstable, very unstable air. So we will wait until warm period for 4 or 5 days, and then some anticyclone from the west. I hope that everybody have seen this. Okay, this is again a high resolution visible image from this morning. You can see that some convection was already going on here and here. I will put stars in the morning hours, and also during the night. and of course with the diurnal heating in the afternoon and with the moving of a shortwave trough to the northeast, we can expect more storms in the eastern part of Europe. Also some organized convection that can produce high impact weather. On this image you can see Cape, shear and convergence. So we are looking for places where we have an overlay of Cape, shear and convergence. Such places are mostly like Cape. We have the deep layer shear that is from 15 to 25 meters per second, even 30 meters per second. Also, there is some here, but there is not much convergence. So also this is a location where we can expect some convection in the afternoon and in the evening hours. So for organized convection and the development of systems like MCSs or for large hail or excessive precipitation and damaging wind gusts, the conditions will be met not only in southeastern part of Europe but also in eastern and northeastern part of Europe. I must say that in most of this part of Europe there is a presence of very moist air in boundary layer. And our colleagues from ECCL, ESTOFEX, issued level 2 and 1 threat for some parts for some parts of eastern and southeastern of Europe. And details you can find on the estofex.org page. I've put what threat are the main threats in this level 2 and level 1 and for what countries, but I will not read it out loud now. As I have said, you can also go later and read some discussion about that. Now I would like to speak a little about weather that we had last night and yesterday. We had quite a brainstorming yesterday morning about weather warnings, especially what level of weather warnings for thunderstorms we will issue. So for yesterday, we issued orange warnings for western part of Europe, and we issued yellow warning for eastern part, and of course with the movement of the shortwave trough and cold front, today warnings are a little bit different. On the western part we have yellow warnings, and for the night and the morning hours we had orange warnings in the eastern and the southern part of Croatia. Yesterday morning models, this is a GFS forecast, suggested that the main threat will be in North Adriatic. Cape and deep layer shear and convergence were overlapping over this area. Also, dew point temperatures in the morning were already around 20 degrees. On islands even much more. For example, Mali Lošinj Island had 26 degrees, but it was only one station that gave such a high dew point temperature. So this is for 12 UTC. If we go into the time in the later evening, of course, with the short wave trough approaching, there we expected more convergence. Cape was between 1,060 even to 2,000 kilogram per joule, and deep layer shear was between 15 to 20 meters per second. So with this kind of conditions, we expected organized convection, hail, mostly moderate size hail, and severe wind gusts. This is in the night. This is in the night, but this is in the night we prominent situation will be in Middle Adriatic. And now you will see also because of this, we played with our soundings on our workstation, and we modified the sounding in a way that this is the worst scenario. And we changed dew point temperature and ground temperature, and we get a cave that was around 3,700 with a strong deep layer shear. What happened? This is a big Europe image. Maybe just wanted to show you that there was lots of convection going on of Europe. But if we zoom into Croatia and the surrounding countries, you can see that already in afternoon hours we had quite a storm in eastern part of Croatia, and with a nice overshooting top. And this storm caused great damage on crops, on vineyards and houses. There were broken trees. So this kind of development in this part of Croatia was not seen in the models for yesterday afternoon. It was expected later in the evening or even in the night. But we knew from experience that this kind of situation happens quite often. This is a little bit later, nicely seen on this slide called ring shape on enhanced ER image with Ote plum over North Adriatic, and also some severe storms here. So the same, but only on the ER enhanced, and the image before was sandwich product, so it was high resolution visible overlaid with ER enhanced image. And this image was after midnight, so I wanted to say that also later in the night more storm passed over continental part of Croatia. And for the end, I wanted to show you a lot of reports about damage and high impact weather on European severe weather database. And if you go to the page of ESWD reports, you can see the time of these damage reports, and it was with these time reports you can nicely track how the system was moving from west to east. Also, you can see that more places level 2 and level 1 threat region. So if we can say that verification was really good. So the forecasts from our colleagues from ESSL were really good. And I will finish with this. I hope that I was understandable. And if you have any questions, you can ask.